Welcome to a brand new episode of the Fitish Podcast. We've been saying we're going to do this for a long time. We finally did it.
Yeah, we've been promising people that we were going to have a guest, and we just haven't had it.
Yeah, welcome to the show. And please welcome Brit Mogensen. I said that right?
Yes,
right?
you did.
I just asked her before we went on. Yeah, so Brit is actually on the same podcast network that we are, right? And your show is called B Zen with Brit.
Yep, that's it.
So maybe you're already familiar, maybe you listen. If not, then you're going to get a little taste of what Brit has to offer today. You know, Francisco and I talk a lot about our relationship on this show, and we're new parents and we want to kill each other every other day of the week. And so Brit, we ran into each other recently at a podcast convention, and she was like, I'd love to do y'all's reading. And so I don't even really know what that means exactly. And you were kind of funny about it because you were like, I don't think you're that into astrology, or maybe you think you were kind of hesitant because you know I'm pretty cynical.
Yeah. Like I listen to Fitish, so I know. And Jenna's a Taurus. We'll get into that. But yeah, I have their birth charts. I've like run all the numbers.
Excited to see if we're compatible. You know, it's good to know.
Well, we already had a child together, so it's a little late. We're gonna have to figure that out if we're not compatible.
We can still return him, right?
I have the answer. We're not that compatible, actually. So thank you for your time.
Yeah. We've got all the little tips and tricks for you guys.
So we're excited. So coming up today, actually, yeah, tease us with what you're gonna do for us today.
Well, even though there are a lot of differences. Jenna, you're more earth. Francisco, you're more air. But we're going to find the way to bring earth and air together.
Full air, yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Great. Okay, so I see some like tarot cards here, and she asked us for our birth times. We're going to do some like birth chart
What a debacle was getting my birth time. Like my dad was saying one time, my mom was saying another time. Like, guys, just go to the records.
Just go to the records.
Yeah, like,
it's almost like that circumcision debacle.
We don't want to guesstimate.
It's just how well your parents don't know you.
Yeah.
Fran got into... We had this whole thing, and so I'm excited to get into this as well, but we had this whole thing when, you know, for something Fran and I didn't agree on was circumcision. Like, you know, he didn't want to circumcise Remy and I did, and we talked to the doctor, you know, and it was like, it's a real thing. You know, you have a baby and it's like, we really didn't agree, and that's a really hard thing to not agree on. Sure. And so Fran called his mom, and, you know, we were kind of getting a lot of outside people's opinions on it. And, you know, in other cultures and in other countries, it's not quite as necessarily common sometimes as what we do here. And so he called, you know, his mom in Mexico City and was like, you know, talking about why she made the decision to not circumcise. She's like, no, you're circumcised. And he got into an argument about his penis with his mom on the phone when I'm in the car.
My mom swore that I was circumcised. Like, Mom, I'll live with that.
Oh my, what a conversation I was like, to have with your mom.
I know. I was like, did you think about sending your mom a dick pic? Yeah. I was like, would this be one time?
I was about to, like, it's like, wait, stop right there.
So is your brother? All the kids are. It's the grandkids that aren't.
The grandkids aren't.
I see. Yes. Yeah. So his mom was getting the penises. There was penile confusion.
Yeah, she had her penises wrong.
So that's the kind of stuff we talk about on the show. Aren't you glad that you came to join us today?
Absolutely.
But here's a little insight before we get into this. Something wild. I just want to hijack and tell this story because something wild happened to Fran and I last night.
Gosh, okay.
And I think I realized... Sometimes you realize kind of who your partner is in certain moments, like in moments of stress, right? And so we decided someone, you know, we've been looking for a house. So someone our landlord had a showing. And so we had to get out of there for like half an hour. So Fran and I are like, let's meet at this cute little restaurant. We love going out to eat at like 4:45 because no one's in there. Yes. And we have the baby. So it's kind of like we can just sit there and it's empty and we don't have a reservation. So we roll in, and this is a nice establishment right down the street from where we live. And we're parked like right in front. There's no one in the parking lot. So we go eat and we're leaving. Even when we're leaving, there's a couple people. And so when we're leaving, my car is right through the glass window of the front of the restaurant. And I see someone in my car.
What?
And you know when you see something like that and you're like, oh, wait, like, have you ever like left the mall and you see your car backing out, but it's not your car, obviously,
right,
but it is your car, and you kind of second guess yourself. You're like, so I said to Fran, and like, we're walking out with her, and I'm like, someone's in my car. And I kind of processed it. I'm like, no, that can't be my car because like, why is someone in my car? And then I'm like, that's not my car. That is my car. And then like this person makes eye contact with us. He slams the back door. He was behind the driver's side and hops in a car and like starts to go up to the stop sign. And I say to Fran, I was like, that guy was in my car. So Fran, like without hesitation, just abandons the stroller. I mean, I'm right there. Runs and jumps in his car, starts to chase the guy in his car.
Oh my gosh.
And left his phone in the restaurant. So I'm standing there kind of like flabbergasted by the whole thing. Like, I'm going to go look at my car and see if anything's missing. Of course, I'm sitting here. I leave my car unlocked a lot intentionally because like, I'd rather that than them shatter a window, and I don't leave things in my car. And that's been happening to a lot of people. They'll shatter the window and get something. So I did have a Zara bag in the back seat, and I'm like, it's actually something I have on right now that I needed for an event today. And I'm like, fuck.
Hope he didn't take that.
I hope they didn't take the Zara bag, which is so stupid.
What she was screaming, like, I hope he didn't take the Zara bag. It's like,
my Zara bag. I'm like, who gives a shit about the Zara bag? And so
it's a cute outfit. I mean, you know.
Thanks. So yeah, it was this blazer actually I needed to wear over this. Anyway, but again, not the end of the world. And like my reaction would not have been to chase after this person. So I'm standing there talking to the GM of the restaurant. Like there's cameras. I look in the car. Nothing seems to be missing. Again, I don't leave anything fancy in the car anyway. The car seat was still there. I don't think he wanted to take that. But Fran's gone with no phone. So all of a sudden, no, it gets better. So Fran comes back and it's like, I got him.
well, the thing is that she goes and says, that guy just jumped out of my car. And
don't ruin the story.
no. So I went chasing that guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we end up meeting up at home. The GM of the restaurant's like, the shopping plaza has the stuff if you notice anything's missing. I'm kind of like, whatever. And the GM and I are laughing. I was like, in this day and age, you cannot hop in your car and chase someone, especially like a criminal, you know, because I thought Fran was going to get shot. And like, I mean, I didn't want to lose that Zara bag, but it's like not worth Fran getting shot over. I mean, I don't think. And so, no. And with the GM and I were laughing. We were like, if it was me or Remy, you better go after him, you know, but like nothing's worth, I mean, even like electronics, nothing is worth chasing some young guy down over. And so we meet up at the house down the street. Fran finally pulls back in. Fran's like, I got him. I was like, how'd you get him? You don't even have a phone. He's like, I had my iPad. I interviewed him. I pulled him over.
Wait, really?
I interrogated him.
Really?
Not my brightest moment, okay?
He pulled the guy over. The guy swears it wasn't him, that we have him mistaken. Friends, like, we saw you. I saw you get out of my girlfriend's car. And of course, then the guy's like, no, I'm like not having an affair with your girlfriend.
That was the first thing that he said. Like, guys, like, I just saw you. Like, he speaks Spanish. So I was talking to him in Spanish. I was like, dude, I saw you jumping out of my girlfriend's car. And the guy looked at me and was like, I swear I don't know your girlfriend. And I was like, dude, you're getting this all wrong. I'm not thinking that you're having an affair with my girlfriend. I just saw you coming out trying to steal something out of the car. But of course, I didn't have a phone to make sure that everything was in the car. So long story short, I got his plates. I took a video of the car and the guy.
So Fran pulls up. He's like,
how'd you pull him over? I'm sorry. How did that work?
I went in front of him. Like I put my car in front of him.
This is like professional level.
Like trap.
Okay.
Well, I'm from Mexico City.
All right. So these are skills you have.
Trained.
Okay.
But
I'm weirdly trained. This is disturbing. It is amazing. So, he said the guy was kind of like, you know, acting a little strange. He didn't know what to say. Like freaked out. He fulfilled the description that Jenna mentioned.
The description.
But he was like, dude, like, I didn't do it. I promise you. It's like, dude, I have you in camera. If anything is missing, we're going to go to the end of the world to
Fran
get you.
has called the cops on the drive from his iPad or his Apple Watch, whatever, however he's achieved this. On the way home, he's like, the cops are going to check out the surveillance footage. I gave the police officer the guy's license plate. Fran pulls up his iPad and is like, look at him. And I was like, it's the wrong guy.
No.
He pulled over. I was like, it was the guy in the Acura with the temporary tags. And he pulled over another young Mexican guy in a PT Cruiser that was behind the guy when they were pulling out of the parking lot. And I'm like, Fran, that's not the car. It was the Acura. The guy like peeled off like, oh no. And the look on Fran's face was like, trying to blame me for it. Like, you told me it was that guy. I was like, well, I was yelling at you. It was the Acura with the tags, but he didn't hear it because he was already long gone and then didn't have a phone. So this poor guy really didn't do anything.
I owe him a huge apology.
Well, now he has a good story.
Yeah.
To share with his friends.
So that shows you a little bit about how we react in certain situations.
He did not hesitate.
Yeah, so that was an exciting. I mean, I appreciate you.
So like, I was like, fuck. Like, I've been trying to get the information of this guy out of his plates to give him a personal apology.
Oh, that's nice.
Because
yeah,
I'm pretty sure I scared the shit out of him.
For sure.
I think it'd be really nice. Yeah.
Well, and if, you know, real estate, you get tired of it, you can obviously become like a detective or something. Yes. That was next level.
Right?
Jeez.
I mean,
you can be like an undercover something.
Please don't. Unless it's Remy or I in that car, leave it. please. You're going to get shot.
Babe, I got my lesson, okay? I got the wrong guy.
Oh my God.
So this is the kind of stuff that Fran and I do at night. We'll be back with our guest on today's show, Brit, in just a moment. But for now, a word from our sponsor, ShipStation. You know, Francisco, you've started a few businesses, right?
One or two, for sure.
One or two.
Yeah.
And some better than others, right?
Some better than others.
I'll say one of the hardest things that a lot of people don't recognize about starting a business, no matter what kind of business you're going into, is the logistics of all of it, right?
That's one of the most important. That's the soul and foundation of your business, especially if you're doing if you require a very intricate logistic system.
If you're shipping anything at all, right?
Absolutely.
And Francisco and I have been talking about going into business together, and we would be shipping a product. And so finding ShipStation when I started Fittish, for example, was just amazing because I didn't know what I was doing. And I know sometimes you're like, oh, starting a business, there's so many details. ShipStation will completely alleviate all of your shipping issues. And they integrate, whether you have an Etsy store, I love shopping on Etsy, or an Amazon, storefront, or for me, I use...
You start a drop ship.
Yeah, I use Shopify as my platform, but ShipStation will integrate. ShipStation will find the best shipping rates out there. Again, whether you are shipping one item a week or you're shipping hundreds of thousands of items, they can grow with you, and they make it super easy to manage all of your shipping from one simple dashboard. And there are so many great customers of ShipStation, by the way. I mean, Fittish is one, but Sept, we love Sept foods.
Sept.
Yeah.
And the thing is that when you have a partner like ShipStation, the amount of time that you will have to put in elsewhere in your business, it's amazing.
Yeah, just go to ShipStation.com today. Check it out for yourself. If you sign up with the promo code Fittish, you're going to get a free 60-day trial. Start today. Get set up before the biggest shipping season of the year. I'm telling you, if you're trying to get a business going before the holiday season, which I would recommend, you need to go to ShipStation before you do anything else. Again, 2 months free for you when you go to ShipStation.com, click the microphone at the top, and type in the code Fittish, Fitish, ShipStation.
Make ship happen.
You love that tagline?
Yeah.
Okay, so Fran and I clearly differ when it comes to tracking down criminals and protecting our family. He is a good protector, though, so I don't know if you saw any of that in the reading. But before we get into that, I'd love to know more about you, since you're joining us on the show today. I know you also have a TV segment, right?
Yes, I do. I have a TV show on ABC here in Dallas. It's on at 1:11 a.m. the first Thursday of every month.
So prime time. Yeah.
Prime time, baby. That's right. I like to say it's angel number 111. But so I do like wellness interviews and with authors, thought leaders, inspiring people like you. You've been on my list for a long time. So this is like very exciting.
Is it as exciting as you anticipated?
Yes, even more so. Even more so, actually. Your place is beautiful, but and your outfit. No, but I also do like readings for people. I got into kind of over the pandemic. My friends and I just we started doing this, and I've been into like astrology for years, and it turned out I started predicting things. And one of my friends,
really,
yep,
like what?
Like one of my friends, Raven Gates, she was on The Bachelor, in Paradise. You know Raven?
I mean, I know. Yep. I think I know who that is, but yeah,
small world. You have to ask. But I predicted that she and her husband's wedding date would be moved. And they ended up moving it. It was kind of this crazy thing. And they wrote a story about it on bachelornation.com. And then people started just reaching out. And I just it was one of those things that just kind of happened. And I read cards for people. And even I'm shocked by some of the things that come out. So I love it. It's really fun. And I do that on the B Zen with Brit podcast.
Awesome. Okay. All right, great. Well, then let's get into it a little bit, right?
Get into it. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to let you lead because I have no idea what I'm about to find out about us.
I'm excited.
Yay.
And worried.
I have Fran's birth chart on my phone. That's why I keep looking at this because we did get an update on your birth time, which changed a lot of things.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So I said air. I meant fire.
You called my mom to ask her?
Yes. Your mom had a chat. She was like, please do it. No. So what's interesting with you guys is that just right off the bat, Francisco has a lot of Sagittarius energy. So that's fire. That is somebody who's an adventurer, someone who does not like to stay in one place. So, and I love listening to the podcast. So your birth charts were dead on.
Yeah.
And then Jenna, you actually have so much earth. You are very grounded. You have a sun in Taurus, a Taurus rising, and your moon in Virgo.
So what does that mean?
Earth. You were like, I am here. This is like, you love to have things to where you know what's going on. Like you need to feel safe and secure.
Like stability.
And Francisco needs to feel freedom or else he just gets bored with life. So it's not about you
It's pretty accurate, actually.
It's not what you need.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But you guys can give that to each other. That's the fun thing about understanding your birth chart.
The Titan.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to loosen the leash. That's what you need to
One
do.
of those that's like retractable.
Retractable.
Yeah.
You got yourself
Give us
into
some
this
lead.
situation. I've been very clear about who I am out of the gate. I'm grounded. I'm earthy.
Grounded, earthy.
Look how grounded and earthy I look.
It's in my profile.
It is.
My long gold nails. I'm so grounded and earthy.
But in Francisco's defense, I will say he does have Sagittarius rising. So Francisco, they call it the big three in astrology. So your rising is how you like come off to people when they first meet you. You're Sagittarius rising. So like when you first meet him, you kind of get that adventurous spirit. That's probably why you guys had so much fun together. And then you get to know him better. His sun's in Sagittarius, but his moon is also in Virgo. So y'all have the same like real needs. Like your moons are the same. So that means once we get past all this outer stuff, if the intimacy is right, I mean, it's perfect. It's like precious. 2 Virgo moons.
What is intimacy?
Cutest.
We haven't.
We're going to get there. The stars are going to help us.
We're fucked.
No, you're not. I thought it would be fun if you wanted to like ask some questions and I could look in the stars to see. Like, are there any things that you guys have been struggling with? Maybe. Like, I don't know.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, be honest. What would you like to know about our relationship? You know what we struggle with the most? I'll say because it's what I feel is we struggle with communication. Most, for sure. I mean, that's kind of always for me the root of our issues.
Yeah.
I know it's a broad thing to say, but it's like, hello. I'm always like, talk to me. Are you in there?
That's a fact. We struggle with.
We struggle with communication.
We have different communication needs.
Well, what's interesting about that is you guys actually have very compatible communication placements.
Really?
So, so Jenna's like, So
she knows I'm cynical. I'm like,
I do know.
Okay, I'll let you read your paper.
I'm a Virgo, so I like. No. Trust me, I get it. So your Mercury sign is like how you know your communication style, how you speak to other people, how you process information. So Francisco, yours is in, of course, Sagittarius. You have so many Sagittarius placements. It's insane. I've never even seen this many in one chart. And Jenna,
is he a Sagittarius?
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
So you are a Sagittarius, but you're also like, I don't know all this
Jenna,
moon
he's like
stuff.
all Sag.
Oh,
Look at all
okay.
that, like across the board. So you really do need freedom. And anyway, back to the Mercury. So Jenna, you have your Mercury in Aries, which means you are very direct. When you want something, Aries is the leader of the zodiac.
Man, this
the
is
first sign.
spot on. Yeah.
And it's very fiery. And Francisco, Sagittarius is also very fiery. But what happens, I think, with you guys is you'll kind of go along with what Jenna's saying in the moment because you want to get along. And then because you're a Sagittarius, you kind of like, you're like, oh, I can't really do it. So you try to kind of do your own thing without upsetting her.
I paid her. I paid her to have my back before coming into today.
No, but she's spot on that.
No, you are spot on. It's good because I always tell him, I go, I am super direct, because sometimes he'll be like, I think you're being passive aggressive. I go, no. Like, I'm not. I'm never that way. Even with female friends, I've always been that way, probably because I was an only child that I don't like to let things fester,
Right.
I mean, I can bite my tongue if it's not worth it and like choose my battles. But
For sure.
if I don't like something, I like to be direct because I think it ends up in a bad place. I tend to do that. I'm just like, hey, I don't like that. Or I need more help around the house. Your mom's like, tell him what you want done. I'm like, I do. Take out that
Keep
trash.
going.
He's like, oh yeah, I did. I think I might have agreed to do that. I'm like, yeah.
It's the sleepiness pig.
He is really tired. I think that's what's really hard on the relationship right now. Is like I get like no attention right now because he's so into Remy, and then I definitely know that I didn't know I needed more attention from him.
Right.
I went from getting a lot of attention and kind of romantic attention from him. And then we have a baby and it's like, I don't exist, Like I'll talk to him and he's talking to Remy, like literally in the moment. I'm like, okay, that was a good talk. I'm going to go to bed. See ya, And it's great because he's a great dad. But I think having a baby.
You want that, but you also have your own separate needs, right? As a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So for you with a Virgo moon, what's interesting is Virgos come across as like very self-sufficient, which I think you do. But they also have this very soft center and they need to get as much as they give. And also Virgos hate asking for help. They hate being the one because they're just used to being the one to do things. They're more comfortable giving than getting. So with you guys, that's something that I think would be really helpful, especially because Sagittarians are very generous. Like if you know what someone needs, you'll give it to them. It's when you feel like you're failing that you kind of don't know what to do. And I think that's where it falls apart, especially like Sagittarius is an optimistic sign. So like if you don't get the praise, if you're not happy.
I'm
You
just kidding.
are. Yeah.
They are.
I'm a realist. I always
And
say
you're
I'm
very
a
grounded.
realist. And he's like,
I aim for the
everything's
stars.
amazing. And I'm like, no, I mean, it's not really, but
But it
yeah.
would be pretty amazing how much you guys would be able to get more, I don't know, get more out of the intimacy if you could just make that little tweak of like you asking for what you need and you doing it. I mean, you know.
I see
She
the
paid.
missing
complicated
link
is
now.
She paid.
I see. So I'm asking. It's just you
I'm out.
doing it. It's as
just gotta
simple
do
as
it.
that. You just got to do it.
And then ride your
I thought it was
motorcycle
all
or
to
do
be
something
hard.
Sagittarius, you know?
I love that. Yeah. So that's what I was going to say. So how when people want to know this about themselves,
Yeah.
like where is this resource? How can they kind of look into themselves and their partner and figure this out? Yeah.
Well, there are so many good books out there, but
Yeah.
if you want something quick, you want to just like get your charts. I really like a website called astrocharts.com because you get a free reading and you can just kind of start looking into like, okay, what does it mean that my son's in Taurus? What does it mean? And it's pretty amazing like how dead on it is. And then you can see like your blind spots or where you could even understand a friend or a partner and see, you know, how can I be better for them?
I love, she says blind spots, and I'm like, flaws and weaknesses. What are our flaws and weaknesses?
Oh, yes. Okay. Jenna.
I mean, that's more, I think we learn more about our flaws and weaknesses.
You're getting in dark ground right now.
It's okay. I'm a Scorpio moon. We can go into it. We can get dark. So let's talk about the wounded warrior in everyone's chart. We all have one. That's the place where you have like your biggest struggles. But once it's your blind spot, but once you overcome it, you can actually become really, really good in that area.
Okay.
So you guys have the same exact Chiron placement of Gemini. So I think that's why right now, as your relationship is relatively young, you're probably having that communication issue because Gemini rules communication. So as you guys continue to evolve, you can actually become really great communicators with one another. But I think you're in kind of a spot where you're figuring out the weaknesses. So people with a Gemini Chiron can either shut down and not communicate because typically something in childhood has gone on to where they used to communicate their feelings and then they didn't receive validation. I have that Chiron placement too, by the way. So, and then because they didn't receive that, something about them shuts down. And when they communicate from their head and not their heart. So as they get older and try to have intimate relationships, they don't really know how to communicate head and heart. So what can be really helpful for that is to just, instead of saying what you think, saying exactly what you feel and not being afraid to be rejected or embarrassed. Because once you do that, you realize, hey, I'm actually really good at that. My relationships actually are improving. So that's kind of the thing with that. Does that make sense or resonate with you guys?
I'm hearing you need to talk more about
100%.
your feelings.
Absolutely. No, I will start opening up.
I feel, yeah, he does. I think, isn't that just, maybe it's as you get older too, and you're married, right?
Yeah.
As you get older, you're like, wait, are they all kind of the same? I mean, are all men kind of the same?
It's so funny because in certain
World of
ways, I think in
Mars.
certain ways, yeah. Like, I mean, men, you know, you guys, not to generalize, all men are different, but I feel like women are typically more emotional and will be like, I need this. And men like to look at the big picture and like, wait, this is working. Like everything's fine. Why do we have to talk about that again? I just feel like women are more emotion, men are more like action.
Kind of talk
Get
it
it
out.
done.
Yeah, we'll talk whenever something changes, you know, when things start moving around. But we already run that subject off.
Does your husband leave all the kitchen cabinets open?
No, but we do have issues with the dishes.
Yeah. I just saw, you know how sometimes you feel like women like speak to each other? Like I saw a college girlfriend post something the other day.
Poor Francisco.
Like it was like a tribute for her husband's 40th birthday, and they have a great relationship. And I've known her since college, and him. They met in college, so they get along very well. But her and we don't even keep in touch really. But like her Instagram post was hilarious because as I'm sitting there, and Fran and I are probably like, you know, I'm looking at the kitchen like cleaning. Her post to him is like, I just could not imagine, you know, my life without you. you, you can never find the dishwasher. Like, you don't know where it is. God. Like, all the cabinets are open. And I'm thinking, like, they're all the same. They're all related, and he lives in San Francisco. You're all related.
That's so funny.
No, I'm just giving you a hard time.
It's a thing.
It is funny though, because I think it's just it's learning like the things that it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, I try and look at it in a way from a relationship is like, things like that never used to bother me. I don't know why it bothers me more now. Maybe it's when you ask for them to do something and they still are like resistant or they just don't, But then I tell myself, and I'm almost 40 at this point. So it's like, and he's such a great dad that I'm like, you know what? If the cabinets are open, it's really okay.
Right.
And it's a little creepy, like at night, but when the cabinets are all open, but it's okay.
Who was here?
Like, it's not harming anyone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And it's okay.
Oh. And most likely it was all me that opened all those cabinets.
Well, who else would it be? Remy?
I'm pretty sure Remy wasn't either.
Yeah, it wasn't Remy. Yeah. Oh, see, this is what he does. He tries to gaslight me like it's me leaving the cabinets open.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
Like, no.
Maybe we might have a ghost.
Yeah, that's possible.
That actually could be true. I mean, who knows? On another episode, ghost hunting at your house.
Yeah,
you
that'll be fun.
All right. Are we supposed to ask you more questions?
Yes. So if you guys have any other like specific questions, or I can go into like your love languages, things like that. I've got it all here. So it's just kind of
We
like what you want
hear
to
like everything.
Yeah. I don't even know exactly what to ask about us. It's kind of hard to be objective about something.
Well, I can get into it then, and then you can just kind of ask as we reveal things.
I feel like every love language is his love language, which is really can be overwhelming and like it's hard, right? Because I know a lot about the love languages and looking at him, and he tends to do a lot of them, and but I know it's funny with us, and I notice it a lot is that. And I think most people are this way maybe, but you do the love language for the other person that you want back.
For sure. Exactly. Yeah. You give what you want to get, hoping that you'll get back what you're wanting. And they're like, what are you even doing? Like, I'm a words of affirmation person or whatever.
Right. Exactly.
Do you know what your love languages are? Like your main ones?
It's hard with Fran because I'm not kidding when I say you do everything. I mean, every love language I feel like is your love language. What do you think is your biggest one?
I think it all depends what I'm in the mood for.
But that's what I mean. You do all of them. I would say, I don't think gifts is your big love language, but I think words of affirmation for sure.
That sounds more like a complaint, though.
No. That's one of it's gifts, it's acts of service, it's physical touch, words of affirmation, and what's the other one? Time.
Quality time,
right? So I definitely think acts of service. I definitely think words of affirmation. It used to be physical touch, but now like we don't touch each other. Like we have not. We're lacking in the intimacy right now. We don't even sleep in the same room right now. He's been sleeping with the baby, so like it's been
Well, and that's tough too. Like my husband had a surgery, and we were sleeping in different rooms, and I noticed we were like arguing a lot more.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really think it makes a difference if you don't sleep in the same bed. Yeah. Like that was kind of a revelation that we had.
I think so too. Because whether you're like always having sex every night or not, I think sleeping in the same bed and having the touch and the intimacy is, And so like we haven't had like any of that. You know what I mean? And like, I don't know what weeks I feel like. I mean, we haven't slept in the same bed in a long time.
Or slept.
Or slept. He hasn't slept.
Maybe tonight you make the change.
I think
okay.
I've tried. Well, maybe when we move. It's just, we're not doing this because we're not getting along. It's just kind of our situation where we live.
It's a big life change, and you guys have.
We're gonna move out soon, but like we only have 2 bedrooms, and so Remy sleeps downstairs, and I put a bed in there. But now he doesn't want to sleep in his crib. So him and Fran sleep in the bed down there together every night. And it's just too far from our bedroom, to sleep all the way upstairs. And it's all the way in the bottom of the townhome. And so, we're just really doing it logistically
more
right
of a layout
now. But
then,
hopefully he'll be like in his own room and we can be together.
7 months into it. So we're really trying to figure out and navigate all the fronts of being a parent and how to balance a life as a dad, as a partner,
for sure.
as a human, as a friend.
Yeah. It's not an easy
As
thing.
a sleepwalker.
And I know we're talking about love languages. Mine is time, gifts, right? What do you think?
I think it's those. For
Those?
sure, yeah. Time and gifts.
You don't think words of affirmation?
Sometimes.
some,
Yeah.
but not probably mine.
Yeah.
I actually don't think I care about that as much either, though. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I think we're both pretty effusive with each other in general and about compliments and saying I love you. I think we're pretty good, but I don't think either of us depend on that.
So that makes a lot of sense because when we want to look at your love languages, how you guys are compatible with one another, we look at your Venus and your Mars. Venus is like romantically your style, and then Mars is more of like the passion, the bedroom stuff, and also like your spark. So it's really crazy. The way you guys described your love languages makes so much sense here. Jenna, your Venus is in Taurus. Taurus is again, so much Taurus, right? Mm-hmm. So Taurus loves nice things, quality items. It makes you feel really good to receive gifts. That makes total sense. That's a part of your makeup. Mm-hmm. And then your Mars is in Scorpio. So that's very passionate. That's a whole sexy vibe. So like you need to feel the passion. You need to feel desired. Mm-hmm. That is a very Scorpio thing. And then Francisco, your Venus and Mars are both in Libra. So you were talking about balance. Balance is like a Libra keyword. Libra is the sign of the scales. So it's all about like balancing the scales. A lot of lawyers are Libras. Mm-hmm. My husband's a Libra. I call him the Libra lawyer because he's so about balance. And so that's actually your Mars and your Venus. So you need to feel a sense of balance before you can really open up and feel passionate or romantic. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
I need balance. Okay.
He needs balance.
Where does he find it?
Well, normally when both things are weight, you know, that's when you find the balance there. Anyhow, we'll go to the search of balance. Mm-hmm. We go in our journey towards balance.
It is a journey. It is, right?
Do y'all have kids?
No, not yet. Mm-mm.
It's like, it just really throws such a curveball. No, it's amazing. I was with a girlfriend yesterday and her and I are really similar in a lot of ways. And she doesn't have kids yet. And she's kind of one of those, it's like, I don't know. I really like my life right now. I'm like, yeah, I get it. Because I felt that way too. I was never the type of person to be like, oh, I have to have a child. I can't wait to be a mom. Same. I was born to be a mom. I'm good with kids and I always liked kids and thought I wanted them, but I was never 100%. Right. And then all of a sudden I'm like almost 40. I'm like, I should probably figure this shit out because I don't think like,
it's my time.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to get, any easier. And it doesn't. I thought being older it'd be easier, but I did say to her, I'm like, if you're on the fence at all, you should do it because it's so hard, but it's so amazing. Yeah.
See, and that's beautiful.
Yeah.
If you're on the fence, you should just do it because it's amazing.
But it's hard this first year and everyone says that, so it must be true. It's like everyone says the first few months of having a newborn are really hard and then you figure it out and that was true. And then they're like the first year of whether you're married or not or whatever, but the first year, even if you have a great marriage, then you have a baby.
For sure.
It's very difficult.
I'm sure it changes.
Personalities change. You're really not at your best all the time, because you're so 100%.
Sleep deprived.
I meant all of us. And
focused on other things.
You really aren't at your best.
I know. Tell me about it.
No, it's just hard. You just don't have the coping skills sometimes and you just kind of want to murder each other, which doesn't help. Yeah.
I caught the wrong guy yesterday. That's how I'm not in my best.
That was not balanced. That was not his Libra best vibes. But I think that, in any transition in relationships, it can be difficult. And so when we know ourselves better, we can at least like see our tendencies. And I think that's one of the things that sucks is like that personal responsibility where we're like, okay, I know that this is also me a little bit. So with you guys, I just think that there's so much love and compatibility in your charts that really it's like coming out of yourselves, communicating with each other, and then almost like doing what the other person wants.
Yeah.
So like, I guess with you, Jenna, it would maybe be letting things go more because of the Sagittarius need for freedom. And then Francisco, with you, it would be, doing more of the concrete things that Jenna needs to feel secure. And then just those little tweaks.
Letting things go also.
Sure.
Yeah, I can just let things go also.
No, that's not what she's saying.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I'll let things go more if you just do what I fucking ask. Yeah. Do you swear on your podcast? Because I'm sorry to all your listeners right now.
I do.
They're like, who did you have on the show?
They're just going to be beep, 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 beep.
Should have asked that out of the gate. Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's fine. So is there anything that you guys want to know about your birth charts still, or do you want to ask some questions? Should we turn to the cards and
let's
get
turn
into
to the cards?
Future?
Yeah, sure. Let's
look to the future.
Kind of scary.
Don't be scared. Nothing bad will come out. I don't do like negative readings.
Really?
I do like positive, like anything uplifting, anything that you guys would need to
Like I have
know.
a mole dog here. Is it
Yeah, I can't do that. That's above my pay grade. I can't do that one. Go to your doctor, okay?
Do you?
It's my
No.
advice.
Because I haven't seen anything in a while.
bad.
Yeah. Do you have a mole you're
my
concerned about?
No more.
No, okay, good.
Okay.
Good.
All right. So how do these cards work?
So you can ask me really anything, anything kind of open-ended. You can say like, what is the future of my business? What is coming next in our relationship? Do you have any advice for our relationship? What would make us happier? Like really anything.
Okay.
The sky's the limit.
Scary a little bit.
Don't be scared. I promise I won't tell you anything negative.
It's like even if I don't even know if I believe in this stuff or not, but it's still
still
scary.
scary.
You're gonna
I
ask,
sign
what
up
is the
for it.
future of my business? Well, you're gonna
No.
be retired, and it's just in a very
no.
positive way. You're gonna retire like in 2
Yeah, it'll be
months.
wonderful.
Well, and the thing is we have free will. So even if the cards tell you something, you have to remember you're the one making those decisions. So you could change it. Like if something comes up and you're like, oh, this is the path I'm on, I actually don't like that outcome, then you could change it.
Let's talk about our relationship.
Yeah,
Like, what's the future of our relationship?
How many years do we have left?
No.
I can't answer that one.
Months? No, I'm just
Do
kidding.
you want, how about this? How about this? I'm going to do a general relationship reading for you guys.
Okay.
And we'll see what comes out.
Okay.
Sounds
Like
good.
what does spirit, your higher selves, like what needs to come through for you guys? I'm
Okay.
gonna set my microphone down for a second so I can
Okay.
shuffle and do my thing.
Wow.
That looks like a burning tower.
It is a burning tower. And then God
No.
with a black cat. You don't know if God
It's
has
some queen.
goddess.
Okay. All right, let's start with this part of what we've already pulled here. So for Jenna, I was just like kind of doing this in my head because I didn't have this, but the card that represents Jenna is the Tower card. So this tells us that and it's not bad. This just tells us
It's not bad. It's burning down.
It's a card of like change.
It's not bad.
Just fiery.
It is a
You're
burning,
just
it is a burning,
stoic. You're just
leaning
as
tower.
stoic as a tower, but fiery
It's
inside.
not bad. I want to see how she spins the burning tower. I mean, there's like people jumping out of the windows. Okay.
Oh my God. It's about change. So sometimes change comes softly and sometimes change comes like this card with the fire and the lightning. And you're a very passionate person. So I think change would happen this way. So you're in a place right now where you're experiencing a lot of change and that is impacting the relationship and like the general feel of the relationship. So change is what mainly represents you right now. And then Francisco is the Queen of Wands. So you are,
I'm the queen of wands.
I've been wondering.
this card represents Sagittarius in the deck, which is really funny. And we talked about all the Sagittarius placements you have.
I'm going through a lot of change because you're about to tell me you want to be a woman.
Well, hey, you never know. Francisco, you can just tell us now if that's no.
Well, now that you've brought it up, my book
cards
job
are
is
Francisca.
it's tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. Well, so the Queen of Wands energy is all about passion. So you're actually in a place, Francisco, where you're feeling very alive and like passionate about what's going on in your life. There's probably a lot of like exciting things happening for you. Like you just feel really fired up and in your element because this represents Sagittarius energy. So you're like,
Look how pretty you are sitting on your
Look.
you're
throne.
feeling
Look
yourself.
at my black puss.
You're living your, oh my God. Okay. And then the card that, I can't. Then the card that represents the energy that you guys are creating together right now, this middle card.
That old lady.
The old lady. So this is my Golden Girls tarot deck. So this is Sophia. Do you watch Golden Girls?
No.
Okay. I love it. Okay. So anyway, this is the teacher card. So you guys are learning a lot of lessons together. That's what represents the overall energy. So all of this stuff that you guys are talking through, going through, exploring on the podcast, you guys are learning together. This is like a really big time of growth for you guys spiritually. And it's really cool that you do it on the podcast because I think that people who are listening, who are in this space, you know, you guys are the teachers. So you're probably teaching, inadvertently to other people as well.
I mean, I think we do. I think a lot of the feedback we tend to get on the show from people, at least those of you that write us, because I know a lot of people listen, and I like to think a lot of y'all listen and just don't say anything, which is fine, because that's probably how I would be as well, Yeah. I never really leave reviews, but
yeah, I'm going to leave a review, but I listen every single week.
1 star.
I don't even. Oh my God, no.
Hated it. Do
Absolutely
not recommend.
Do not recommend.
No, a lot of the feedback we get is people tend to like the kind of the honesty about the relationship, because I do think that, especially that first year of having a baby, like I said, and a lot of people that listen to the show are in that phase or have recently been in that phase or are looking in the near future to be in that phase. Yeah. And so I think that's the relatability that people appreciate, because it's really hard to kind of share stuff that we don't get along about, sure. but how can we not? It's real. And when we do a podcast every week and we're kind of in the heat of something that's been hurtful, or it's nice to share it, because I just don't know. I mean, maybe some people, I'm sure there's a lot of people that have better relationships than we do, but I think a lot of people don't, a lot of people just deal, and it's about recognizing like, wow, everyone has issues. You know what I mean?
I think everybody totally has issues. My girlfriends and I were laughing about our relationships last night at dinner. I went to dinner with Caroline Craddock. She says hi.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but we were all just talking about the silly things that we fight about. And I really think it's universal. Like, I think, maybe people don't share it with each other. So it's kind of nice to hear somebody else also goes through it.
Yeah.
And if you talk to any therapist, I mean, you've been to therapy too. They say this is just like a part of it. Mm-hmm. You're two separate people trying to create one life together. So there's going to be some ups and downs. It's just like whether there's really love there at the core or not. And so I think that's kind of what makes the difference, right?
Is there?
I don't know.
There totally is. I can feel the love from this chair. Like, just, it's radiating off of these two.
Yeah, it's different right now. But we'll get there again. I just don't know how people pop out another kid right away.
It's just, you just have to have it in you.
Yeah.
Like, I've been half asleep in the past 3 minutes. I don't know if you saw it. But
you were napping just now when we were talking.
Yeah. Like, do a quick recap of what happened the last 3 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was the Acura with the temporary tags. That's what I was yelling at you, not the PT Cruiser.
So,
do you have any questions about us?
Or do you want to ask any other?
Yeah, let's ask something
questions of the cards.
Ask anything. This is your moment. You can. It doesn't have to be about us or Remy or anything. You could ask about yourself.
Like, we can ask something like, what should we expect?
What is Fran's next partner gonna be like? His next romantic partner.
Oh, no.
She was like, okay.
I was like business partner.
She was ready to go.
No, I was business partner.
Like, who's Fran's next
I'm going
wife?
with that just because you asked.
Let's see.
I'm just going to be very worried because it's a Golden Girls.
Brit was just like,
you like older women, so,
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect deck.
Like, can I take these cards? These are sexy cards.
Oh my God. Yeah. Get them on Amazon. There you go.
That's why you go to Whole Foods every night, isn't it?
All ladies?
All the old ladies.
Oh, babe.
Yeah.
It's in the older women's
just
shop.
Looking for your next one, huh? Oh, yeah. I quit
that after I was 20, okay? After I was 30. My old.
Your old?
My old.
Because they all died.
No, they're 60, so she lied.
They all died. So do you want to know about a business thing, since you are so fired up about business right now?
That'd be great.
Okay.
Do that for Fran.
Business.
Yeah. It's going to be like
a career changes on your life.
It's going to be like a burning person. Yeah.
Okay, so we have the 6 of Cups for you. This is a partnership, but it's also romantic. Is there any chance that you two would work together in some way?
Yeah.
We are.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's going to become more prominent.
Oh.
Fran loves this shit. You see him? He's like eating it up.
Of course. I want to see what my future has in store for me.
We have the 5 of Cups in the reverse next. 5 of Cups in the upright is like someone who is upset about something that went wrong. In the reverse, this is getting over that feeling. So maybe there's something you guys have had like a setback of some sort, and you guys will be getting over that, and working together will be part of what helps you guys to get over it.
We'll find out.
What'd you do? A setback.
Like a disappointment of some sort. Okay, let's see. Let's get another one. Page of Swords. Okay, be careful about people around you in your business life that are immature. Page of Swords, a page in the tarot is like the youngest card in the deck. So swords are the way we think and like how we kind of show up. So if there's anybody in your professional life that seems a little bit like shady, or maybe they don't know what they're doing, be sure that you pay attention to that. And, you know, don't be afraid to like double check, or like there's somebody around who's a little shady. What I'm trying to say.
Around my business or our business?
Well, I got you guys as a couple. Like, so it was like your business, like whatever you guys are doing working together, there could be someone around you that.
Oh, there's someone
a little shady
around us for sure. I'm trying to shake it off.
Yeah. Someone shady. Okay, then we have the moon card. And the moon card is all about trusting your instincts and your intuition. So a lot of what you guys are going to be doing working together is going to require you to kind of go with your gut. There will be some things that you'll be able to figure out with like based on numbers and facts and figures. And there will be some things where you're going to just have to really trust yourself and go for it. And the more you trust yourself, the less you worry about it, the more successful you guys will be. And I don't know if that's with real estate or with another business venture that you guys have. You're just going to have to trust it and go with it.
Nice.
Great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, let's just...
It looks good. I mean, you guys are looking good.
Something about our near future as a family.
Okay.
Near future as a family. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see what the cards have to say.
Will we find a house?
Oh my gosh, precious. Okay, 4 of Wands. This is a card of celebration. It's also the marriage. It's also the marriage card. So,
Uh-oh.
With each other?
with each other, yes. So there's going to be a family celebration coming up. It
Doesn't
could
it
be a
lose
marriage,
why?
could be a wedding. Something that you guys will be celebrating, though, that has to do with your family,
Good.
your
You're
marriage.
pregnant.
It could be a pregnancy. Could be. I don't know if Jen would be celebrating, but let's get another one. For
I guess
you
I
guys.
just have to deal
The
with
only
it.
one that will be celebrating is the guy now.
The 10 of Wands is another thing that you guys have coming in the future as a family. So this is a burden worth having. This is doing a lot of work, but it is a burden worth having, which means that there's a reason you guys are doing it. You understand that reason and it's important. So the more you guys push through, you'll continue to have these celebratory aspects.
Nice.
But you guys are really working hard on things right now. I
Okay.
think you're trying to build something.
Mhm.
The sticks, it's like what we used to build.
Okay.
So you have a lot on your plates right now. So you have to give yourself grace for that.
Okay. That seems
Let's
accurate.
get another one. And then justice. Yeah. So as long as you guys continue to act ethically, this is like you give what you get kind of card. Also Libra energy. So Francisco, your Venus and
Balance.
Mars, the
Yeah,
balance.
you and ethics. It's like the
That's
first thing
me.
I think of. Yeah.
Of course.
Well, you have to stay ethical and balanced is what this card means. So the more you guys do that, the more you give, the more you balance out your lives, the better things will be. So I think, yeah, focusing on the work-life balance, because you guys do show up as a couple that works together, that builds together. I think just making sure that you also have that romantic time. Maybe it's a monthly date night, you know, if you guys are busy, or but something that makes you feel grounded, I think, and that allows you enough time and freedom to not feel like you have to always, you know, be doing something specific. Yeah, but if you guys keep that balance, there's just so much goodness here. You guys have a lot of really good things coming.
This was fun.
Yeah.
I like the
Yeah.
positivity.
I like it also. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot to look forward to. Last but not least, the Fool card. So this is the card of a new beginning and a fresh start. So the Fool card is like, look how happy she is. It's like,
Yeah, but she's a fool.
but
right?
yes, she's a fool. But it's like it's like
The
a
fool.
it's like a metaphor. It's like happy like a fool. You know,
Yeah.
isn't there a song that says
Yeah.
like when you're happy like
Sure.
a fool? That's like the advice here. It's like remember to not think too much. Like look
Okay.
at this part of your life as a fresh start. You guys are, everything has changed. You are a family. And so try to enjoy that and almost be like a fool. Like just look around, enjoy yourself,
You
have a
just
good
need
time.
to be like a fool.
That's what I was saying.
When you're upset,
Just be a fool.
think like a fool.
Just let it go.
When you don't know where I am,
can't take
think
it.
like a fool.
When I don't know where you are.
Just
Laugh.
I'm laughing now.
Just be a fool.
We need to get that tracker put back in that you had when you were a child in Mexico. They put trackers in
tag
the
him?
kids.
No, but I have like
Yeah.
because
I
I'm
have a
gonna
dog
lose one.
collar like that on my dog. It's tracked. You could put it on his wallet
Don't
or
give
something.
her ideas.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he had one like under the skin, but then he
my
like
God.
in Mexico, like kids, there was a phase where they were like encouraging people to do that, like for kids that were getting kidnapped. But then his parents like stopped paying the subscription. So you know what I mean? So like it didn't have any, there was like nothing registered on it.
But it's still there.
It was still under his
I
arm.
actually
He
bumped
could
into a guy,
re-register.
long story short, but bumped into a guy that still has it on and he's like, I've been having recurring headaches. That's like,
Oh my God.
a special, but I'm very biased now about this whole thing. Like I've been doing my research. This might be just I don't know,
Your research on what?
on these type of technologies, you know,
You're not going to put that in our son.
no.
That's exactly where he's going with this, isn't it?
No.
I mean, I
The
understand
AirTag
the fear
is
for
easier.
sure. It's very Black Mirror, but like I understand the fear about a child being kidnapped. But like, yeah, putting something under his skin is pretty. I mean, they'll probably have.
Oh
that.
no, I didn't even think of that. I do that with my dog because I get
Yeah,
all
all
worried
the
about
dogs
her.
have it.
I can't imagine having a kid. I'd be stressed out.
It is. It's scary.
Well, I'm a Virgo. I'm going to be like you, like focusing on all the details of the.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you can't know where they are at all times.
No.
I'm gonna have like a mental breakdown now.
It's gonna be, yeah. I think. Yeah.
You do.
It's a.
Can you imagine when we were like kids and cell phones didn't have nearly the capabilities that we have now?
I mean, I used to walk to school and walk home, and it's a shame. Like you could never. I mean, maybe some people that live in smaller towns are still comfortable doing that, but I just don't. We just don't live in a safe place these days, you know. And that's what the bummer
Look
is.
what happened yesterday.
There was a madman chasing people down on the streets, pulling people over.
You cannot feel safe.
This crazy
You can't feel safe
Mexican
with that
guy
man out
pulling
there.
over innocent
That fellow
people.
Mexican
Tell your
guy
friends,
is like-
look out.
Citizens arrest.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you know, on next week's Fitish podcast, actually, we will be interviewing someone that reached out to us because we're kind of highlighting some self-defense stuff for the month in October.
Wow. Awesome.
And we're going to be doing a self-defense class up here. Actually, we're bringing in some like fully trained guys to do pop-up. We do pop-ups
That
here
is
in
so
the
cool.
office once a month.
I don't
and
know
they're gonna
if
do
this is
self-defense.
actually self-defense or she's having like a
Use it on
magic,
Francisco.
a magic mic situation here.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah, they're bringing
no.
rope and zip ties and duct tape, and they're going to teach us how to get out of predicaments. Yeah. Well, I was joking with the girls. I'm like, I couldn't even be hogtied. Like if a kidnapper tried, like I can't even touch my toes. I'm so inflexible. Like if they tried to hog tie me, you know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't like, you know what hogtied is?
It wouldn't work.
Like your hands to your feet. Well, anyway, yeah. So no, this is legit. Like these guys are absolutely like super third level black belt and not Krav Maga, but like I don't.
That's
know. I
badass.
don't know how to pronounce what their form of training is. But it's
the guys
close
that are
combat.
down the street.
That is so cool. I wanted to take Krav Maga, but then I got too scared because they said they like jump you in or something. Have you guys ever taken any of those classes? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
this
didn't do
is
it.
supposed to be like if someone were to come up from behind you, like it's almost like how you use their own joints and stuff against them. Like it's close hand to hand
That's
kind of
awesome.
combat on how to kind of.
like jiu-jitsu style.
And then I also said like, well, I want to know if I'm like tied up in a trunk of a car. I mean, that'd just be a terrible predicament. You know, at that point, you got to be like, man, I might not make it through this. If you're at that point that you're in the
That'd be
trunk of a
awful.
car tied up, but
You have to punch through the light.
the lights,
Like,
yeah, but a lot
that
of
was on a
cars,
movie.
a lot of newer cars, that's hard to do. But they are going to actually show us. So anyway, we're gonna
Cool.
have the tickets available for that super soon to
That's
come
amazing.
to come to the workout. But as part of that,
badass.
we're interviewing someone that reached out to us. She was actually kidnapped as a teenager, held captive, and like assaulted for a couple of days, managed to escape, and then come to find out this guy had murdered like 7 people or something.
my
So she's been doing some interviews, and she reached out to see if Fitish would donate some stuff because she does a lot of obviously like awareness about this sort of thing and helps a lot of survivors of sexual assault and some really bad scenarios. So we're going to have her on the show. I know that sounded rather uplifting, didn't it? But we're going to have her on the
that's
show to
so
tell her
cool,
story.
though.
But
Yeah,
I think
it's
it's
gonna be
really amazing.
amazing.
I mean, who better to kind of talk about how did she get out of that situation? I mean,
For
I'd
sure.
talk their ear off. They'd just let me go. They'd be like, "You're so annoying." If I got kidnapped,
no, for sure, babe. They
They'd
will
be
let you
like-
out like in the first light. Like it's like
Sure.
the first line.
get out,
Oh my god.
get out.
Yeah.
I'm
but-
just trying to communicate here.
Yeah, just talk to me.
Yeah.
Thank goodness someone wants to talk to me. Yeah. Talk their ear off. Well, this was so fun. Yeah, please
This
join
was
us
so
for
much
our
fun.
pop-up. We'd love to have you in.
Love to. I would love to.
We do workouts and events here, which is really fun. So, and then remind everyone for the Fitish podcast where they can listen to you.
Sure, you guys can listen to the BZen with Brit podcast wherever you guys listen to your podcast. You can find my Instagram at BZen TV. Yeah, thank you for having me. You guys are lovely.
you very much.
Thanks
Your
for
charts.
joining us.
Love
Thanks
spending
for
time with you.
reading us. Yeah,
This is
with
fun.
positivity. We'll see if
course.
this comes to fruition.
Which part?
Well, everything we just
Oh,
did.
yeah,
You
for
remember?
sure.
Are you
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's like I need a nap.
We'll see you next week.